Okay, so for this topic, I want to talk about hope. So, why did I want to talk about this hope? So, to make this very short, I just saw some really bad thing happened in Facebook group. Somebody was live streaming. He was about to do something very bad to himself, and I don't know exactly why. He wasn't listening to anyone in the comments. Everyone tried to help him, but I don't know what happened after that because the live stream just shut off at one point. So he was going to do something very harmful to himself. I won't go too much detail what it is because I don't know what this person's going through, so I'll just keep it like that. So for that reason, I wanted to come up and talk about this video, which is the title is Hope. I'm not going to say exactly this is going to be the best advice or best speech I ever make. But I do want to help people out there, and I do want to make people feel not alone. I understand there's people out there who are struggling for different reasons, and I understand that sometimes you don't know what to do as well. And sometimes you just want someone to understand you. And that's why I'm gonna do that right now, right here, and just talk it over with you. And maybe make things a little bit easier, even though it might not be as easy as it might look. You know, like, I want you to know that you're not alone. I'm not trying to compare to other people. I'm not trying to tell you you're like the same person, other person, but you're not alone with that feeling that you're feeling. Many people like myself too feel the same when we don't know what to do, when we think about our future. Or the scenario could be in, or you're probably feeling devastated by something that may have happened. You may be lost your loved, you may don't know where to go, you feel unsure about certain things, and that makes you lose hope. That's why I want to talk about today is hope itself and try to get you back, at least just make you realize something that might help you. I want to say that I'm sure you're a good person, and I'm sure that the feeling that you're doing now is it's not something you want, it's something you want to move along. You want to move on from that negative feelings that you're probably feeling. And the hardest part of all is the change. It's changing you, and it's changing everything around you as well, because that's how hope works. Like when we have hope in something, we hope for the best. Nobody hopes for the worst. Nobody expects the worst. We always expect the best when there's possible time. So what I'm trying to say is that you're not alone. It's not going to be easy. It's a long, bumpy road. Sometimes it takes a strong will to get back on your feet and fight it. But you're probably asking yourself, but Max, I'm not strong enough. I've been bullied. I've been going through bad relationships. I lost someone I really liked. And I understand that. I've been through the exact same situations. I've been bullied too. I've been, lost some people and friends. But let me tell you something. Okay? That's all part of life experience. I know it sounds quite, boomer coming from me, who's only like 22 and is saying stuff like, oh, Max, that's exactly what an old man would say, That's true. But it's true at the same time. Everything we do in life, every moment, every second you take will impact your life, but also give you experience. The experience that you learn from those life are a very hard thing to do. Whatever it is you're going through, you might not be strong enough to keep up with that mindset. And that's what I mean by needing support. There should be friends out there who support you, and there should be family members that support you. If you have none of those things, then the best thing you can do is find a way to get back on your feet by trusting yourself and giving your things to yourself that could support your back. I understand we need some human interaction to support you, and there's plenty of website out there that lets you talk for free about your mental problems. And also there's also my Discord server as well, which you can talk about your problems too if you want to. I'll put it in a link in the comments if you guys want to vent the problems in there too. There's a special channel for that. If you want to keep this anonymous and you want to join the Discord server, you can talk about that too there. But if it's like a very, very serious thing, you best want to talk to the professionals, because, you know, not everyone capable of, you know, helping each other when it comes to very, very difficult situation. But if there's something you want to talk about, release some kind of stress, it's always there. Just saying this out loud. So, what I'm trying to say is that we have to sometimes support ourselves in certain situations where we have to understand our position. I understand that in this generation, for you, as a young audience, and maybe you're probably in your 20s or 30s, it's probably getting harder for you to understand what you want. You know, I understand that, you know, social media is getting evolving, you know, the politics are getting all messy, you know, you probably live in different third world country that is really difficult to live up to, and sometimes you just don't know where to go, and then you start asking yourself questions like, where is hope? How do I achieve my hope? How do I achieve my peace of mind where I don't feel stress? And I understand this is such a difficult task to do. And I understand that sometimes you need to, you know, you have to bite the bullet, you know, to understand what you want, if that makes sense. Like I said, this is not the best advice I could give out there. I'm not a professional. You gotta remember that. I do those videos because I want people to listen, to understand that they're not alone. And, you know, I want people to understand that every moment in your life counts. You know, whether you've been bullied, you know, whether people make fun of you, whether people, you know, try to hurt you in a toxic way, or, you know, hurt you, or maybe it's family, maybe it's your friends, I don't know. But you know yourself that you're a good person, and you know that you try to maintain that character of yours in a healthy way as possible. And sometimes it just breaks us down, because sometimes we don't know what to do when things don't go the way you hope for. This is what I'm trying to say, is that you're not alone. You're young, or you're still learning. It doesn't matter which age gap you're in, but you have to keep trusting yourself. I know it's not easy. I know it's difficult. I know you're struggling. I understand many people out there just not relaxing, you know, they keep working and overstressing and overstressing and overstressing, and sometimes they don't have anyone they can rely on. And I understand that too. You're human, and I want you to remember that. You're not a robot. You're not just some nobody. You are human, and you have feelings, and those feelings that you carry are the most valuable thing that ever means to you. Those feelings are your feelings alone, and only you could actually understand them. Don't let anyone tell you how you should do your life. Don't let anyone tell you how you should look or how you shouldn't look. Don't let anyone tell you and misjudge you based on what you say that you believe is right. Every people have their own mindset and, you know, their own goals to that type of thing that they're trying to achieve from, whether it's opinion or whether it's for the reasons behind it, you know, like actions. So, thinking that the worst possible idea to do something that could be self-harm, it's a very difficult topic to talk about. And I'm not going to tell you, like, don't do that, you know, whatever it is, because I understand it's so very hard to let go of, and especially to feel of the needs to do it. I can't really talk in my opinion on how to get rid of this type of mindset, or how to, you know, this is like a very serious topic, and I don't really know what exact words I should use for this type of things, but I will say that that's understandable. Those pain is your pains alone, and I'm sure it's not, but you gotta have to understand also is that it's not very healthy, and it's not what your mindset needs in that body. The reason why that happened is because things did not go the way you hoped for, and it became, your mindset just kind of starts shrinking to the point where you're unsure what to do, and you start thinking that, doing damage is probably the best way to relieve stress, or, So I want you to understand that self-harm should not be your option. It should never be. I have no place to tell you what you should or shouldn't do, but I want you to know that there are many people out there that will support you and will help you somehow and get rid of that type of thing. And if it's not possible for you, then there must be a way for you to at least, take into account that there's a possible way. And the hardest part of all is also finding the way out of it, rather than giving it in. And this is what I mean by biting the bullet. Biting the bullet. Look, I'm not great at giving advice. I make videos like this because I want people like you understand you're not alone. You're smart. I'm sure you're smart in some ways. You don't have to be super Einstein-like Da Vinci, okay? But you can do something good for yourself. You don't have to be smart to be good. You don't have to be, a genius to prove everyone that you're the right person in the world. You just need to believe in yourself and do what you think is right. Treat people kindly, and then maybe there'll be something good comes out of it. Follow your own footsteps. If there's time when you don't know what to do in those footsteps, then there will be time for that. You just have to work on it. And if I be honest with you, I would also say it's very important to eat breakfast. Now, this is a very serious advice I'm giving now, is if you want to get better and you want to, at least find a starting point, like a baby step, and you want to find something that could help you, just maybe a little bit, I would highly recommend you start eating breakfast. I know it's not, like the most craziest thing advice you could hear me, and I know it sounds very boring advice as well. It's not even medical, reasoning, or it's not even like, cool thing. But I'm telling you right now, breakfast is the fundamental of healthy starting point, Eating breakfast is a good way to get your mind and process and energy to put in, and having the stability in your body and in the mind. Your breakfast should always be considered as the priority number one in the first thing in the morning. And that's the first thing I have to tell you. I'm sure you do eat food. You're human after all. And you have to start eating breakfast. You can always look up online something very easy to cook, or ask your family member, or buy very simple ingredients. It shouldn't cost you too much for a breakfast, I hope. In your country at least. My second advice, if you want to start finding a healthy manner and you want to try to get something out of, is try not to, how to explain this, try not to blame yourself for everything you do. I think the hardest thing that even myself I struggle with is I take the blame for everything I do, and don't be so hard on yourself. This is sort of like me telling you that you're a good person, and you know that. You have to, if you got some self-awareness, you can tell yourself that you're a good person, and sometimes, yeah, the guilt might stay, but you have to always acknowledge the fact that you're a good person, and the fact that you are doing your best to keep yourself healthy and stable, and your starting point, and you're motivated to at least start to do something that would help you. So don't put yourself down because of something you didn't do right. Always do baby steps. I'm not expecting you to go out there and not be happy, or, be happy and smile and fake smile, I want you to, just have faith and trust in yourself a little more. Many people, especially myself, don't have much trust in myself, So have a little bit of faith in yourself, maybe a little bit. Start at breakfast point, and I promise you that will be a very nice feeling to have at least. It will be a very slow process. It won't be just a miracle happening, but it will affect you efficiently. At least it will give you a good direction what you should do next. Once it becomes like a habit, and your mind, becomes like a thing that you always do, you become more motivated to do it every morning. And I promise you that is true, coming from me, who never ate breakfast and then just started breakfast, and I've been doing this for like a few months now. and it been really helping me out. Believe me, it gave me a good mindset in following that path, you know, slowly and easy. It might not work for everyone. I'm not saying that it will, but in every situation, breakfast must have. And also I wanted to say is I wanted to talk about also is that don't bottle up. I see many people who struggle with problems don't talk about their problems. If you're the type of person who don't talk about your problems, please, 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 please talk to someone you can trust, whether it's a family member that you really trust or a friend. If you don't have a family or a friend, there is a professionals that could help you online for free that you can contact or email or, you know, talk about your problem anonymously. If you really don't feel unsure about talking to someone, then my second advice, which I would say, is get a diary. Now, I know this might sound not the best advice again, but like I said, I'm not an expert in psychologist. I do my best to give people some sort of advice and help you guys to maybe realize that the fact that not every option is limited. There's always options to open up and you just don't want to see them. They're all in front of you, remember that. This advice would be a diary. Writing your problems in the diary once in a while will help you realize some things. It will keep you in track of your emotions. You will pour the emotion that it's your feelings and only you can see those stuff. It's not very expensive to buy a notebook, or you can also do a Word document online if you feel much easier typing as well. I personally prefer writing on my diary or book. I also have a diary if you don't believe me, but yeah. But it helps me talk about my problems and, you know, talking about my life in general as well. I have problems too, so I might look stable in some ways, but believe me, I'm not. But there are people like you who is also unstable and don't have a guideline, a guide to what you should do. That's why I want to make this video somehow a bit of a support for you. Just a little bit. I don't expect you to, like, you know, to move on and be fake smiling and pretend you're okay. I don't want you to do that. You should never hide your feelings. Pour your feelings into something that you can trust. Whether it's a human or a diary, I would highly suggest trying something for a while. I know it's not going to be easy, but it's got to be something. And you know, I want you to also know that, you know, confidence is a very big thing in life too. And if you don't have confidence, even I have very low self-esteem. Have confidence. I don't necessarily know how I can tell you to get confidence, because it's something that you have to learn from yourself, from your experience, and, you know, also accepting yourself as well of who you are. And I know it's not easy accepting yourself. I don't really know exactly how do you accept yourself, but you have to somehow acknowledge that part of you. The part of you is you and you alone, and you should never tell yourself that you're someone else or you want to be someone else that you're not. Remember that, please, because you're fine the way you are, and everyone has this mindset of being unstable, and that's completely, well, I wouldn't say normal, but I will say it's unhealthy. But there's always a way out, and I want you to put trust in that. And I also wanted to say to you that you're very young, and whatever age you are, whether you're like me, like younger or older, you know, you should never put your age as a way to push you down or push you up. Well, you can push yourself up if you got time, of course, but coming from me, I always like to help people that struggle with this type of mindset, and I do this on Facebook live stream, but I'm taking a break from Facebook live, and I also want to try to make you realize that sometimes life has a way out, you know. Not everyone's gonna have it easy. So I want you to know you're not alone. And if you're suffering from anxiety, I'm sorry that you're suffering from anxiety. I understand that as well. Please understand that you have your own value too in yourself, and you should value yourself more than anything when someone comes to your life too. Don't think that relationship will always fill your void. Don't think that, every friend will be your friend. You got to remember that everything that happens in life is part of experience. And I know I said that already 500 times, but you have to understand, it's so true. Experience is the key way to success. No one has an easy way out, Everyone's struggling in different pace and different time. And I believe in you, okay? I want you to believe in you. I want you to believe in me who believes in you. I'm sure you already know which anime I'm talking about this, but yeah, I want you to believe in me who believes in you. If you can do that, I think you can be unstoppable. You'll be surprised how much you can do if you just let that push you in. That motivation, that will to do what you want. And I understand that you're struggling. You don't know where to go. But take my small advice. Do baby steps. A bit of breakfast will be great. Start it a little bit. Start writing diary. Maybe get a new hobby that you might like into. If I would give you a recommendation, try learning chess. Maybe start reading books, which I have lots of books recommendation for you that for a beginning that might be interest to you. Maybe it might grab you and might actually get into you. You just never realize that. And I know a book might not sound great. But also remember that the social media platform is a very toxic community, and you gotta remember there's a risk using those type of things as well. So don't think that looking at memes and like social platforms should be your way of escape. It's not always gonna help, and I want you to know that. Support yourself that you believe is healthy. If you think going to social media is healthy, completely understandable. If it helps you, it helps you. But if you feel unsure and you feel like there's a toxicness in there, please just put it away for a while. Avoid it. Give yourself some space. Maybe treat yourself some food. Go out if you got a decent job or part-time job, that you earn some money. I would highly recommend you going to a fancy restaurant. Well, you can go by yourself. I know it sounds quite, miserable or shy, or, like some people would say that. I personally don't think that's miserable or sad. I think you should give your own satisfaction and give yourself some company as well. Enjoy your company. You earn this food. You earn this. You're doing this because you believe, yourself, as in, you deserve this. Your company, there's a mindset around your brain where you feel like you need someone company to fulfill yourself, but it's not true. Having your own company is just as good as having someone else's company, and I want you to remember that. Remember that, okay? Don't feel like you're always alone and in your mindset is alone. You got part of you that knows yourself the most, and that's what makes, reliability so well known, is how we, treat ourselves too. How we love ourselves is also how we harm ourselves. If that makes sense of what I'm trying to explain. And I want you to know that I'm proud of you too. And I'm sure there are many people who maybe never hear that from anyone coming from me, but I want you to know that I'm proud of you. I don't know what you've been doing from your time, but I want you to know that I'm proud of you, and I want you to know that don't stop being you. If you believe you're right, and you believe you're like you're a good person, but you just don't think you are, but you know you are. You know what I'm saying? Like there's a mind trick going on there. Don't stop believing that you are not. Don't stop believing that you are not a good person, or bad. Not a good person, I think, yeah. Just always believe that you're a good person, okay? That's what I'm trying to say. Try to do good things for other people. Listen to other people's problems, or talking to other people's problems is plenty enough. No one expects you to be a mastermind to do everyone's fixing. Because I understand some people, deal with the stress and, toxicness around people. But you gotta remember your own pace and your own time. If that makes sense. Sorry, this is getting a little bit confusing where I'm coming from. Because I understand some people, have a lot of toxicness listening, and it impacts them. So remember that if you have someone also who's toxic to you, like a family member or friends, you can always avoid those friends. You can always move on from them. Always. Okay? If they're like online friends, you can easily switch it off and let them go. Easily. You have to learn that in a hard way. And I know it's not easy, but it's the best way I could put it out. No one can tell you how, just magically, make it disappear. You have to do it by your own action that you believe is right for yourself. Being selfish for yourself is never wrong. Do believe what's right and be honest with that. Okay, I met many people who I talk to suffer from making decisions for themselves and they're unsure what to do. So try to hear me out and make a decision what you believe is best for yourself. Being a little bit selfish is never bad, and I want you to know that. I'm proud of you and I want you to know that, and there's nothing more I could ask for if you just trust yourself a little bit more. There will be hard times, there will be good times, there will be sad times, there will be happy times, but that is what makes you human, and I'm proud of you for being the most amazing human being I can ask for. And having that emotion is your emotions alone, and I'm proud of you that you're holding up and living to this day. Be proud of yourself. One day you're gonna look up to yourself and be surprised how much changed. If not, then be the person who you needed when you were younger. That is one thing I learned from Mike Roth. Be you who you needed when you were younger, or someone who when you were younger. Be the best of you, and only best of you. You know that, I know that. I'm trusting in you. I'm trusting you this on the subjective. It's gonna be a bumpy road, but I hope maybe after this video this puts you a little motivation to try something. And listen, I want you to say this once more. I'm proud of you. Good job. Rest easy, okay? And don't give up on yourself too late, okay? Don't give up. And I want you to know that I'm proud of you. Anyway, I hope this video was better than my previous one. I'm sorry if my last video wasn't that great, if you saw it. I'll try to make a better ones if I can, and try to give more proper advice rather than be some complicated way to talk about. But I hope this video was at least better than the previous, and I hope you have a good day and good rest. Okay, anyway, take care of yourselves.